this is a podcast platform with terrible intro music, right? But
I don't think it's terrible. I'm sorry.
So
I
this is
don't
what
think
I
it's
learned
terrible.
is that our guests really enjoy the music. I first learned that there was like a culture around our podcast music when we got sued.
Which time?
For playing, right? For playing Closing Time by Semisonic. And that was on like all of our early episodes, of course, for the happy hour, right? Whatever. And dude, like we had to go to B-roll like this. And then I hear from Anthony Pascal, who jumped on with us yesterday and do some Churchill.
Where do you get those beats?
He's like, nah, dude, I like the pump up music. So if you've not tuned in on Thursdays, we played this ridiculous song.
Hype every time. Life is good.
And then I always say something like, yeah, life is good on the Horse Racing Happy Hour, terrible music, great podcast, something like that. But this show also has terrible music. Welcome in. This is SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour podcast network. His name's Barry. My name is Louie. We are here each and every Friday around this time. We usually start about 15 minutes earlier. But as you can see by the sport coat today, my son, Louie, graduated from 8th grade. So we were hanging out as a family today. He's still swimming, Barry.
Big Lou.
Taking a day. Yeah, no doubt about it. Because you know what starts on Monday? 2 days for football. Happy summer, son. There you go. Happy summer. Back to work. So there you go. Go swimming on a Friday.
Jason Sehorn Jr. right there. Yeah. Big Lou.
Does it come with Angie Harmon? Because that's a real question. That's a thing that needs to be
the way. Honestly, I think Big Lou could pull that off.
I think he's going to be okay. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, he's going to be all right.
No. He came back. They're doing OTAs right now. He came back for practice the other day, and he was like, I was like, so where do you think you fit in? He goes, safety.
Yes.
And then he said,
guy,
punt returner.
Ooh.
And that caught me off guard because he's not the quickest, shiftiest kid. But then I thought about it early in high school. I imagine the kid who makes the least number of mistakes is the best punt returner, right? Yeah, like the kid who knows,
sense.
like
all he has to do is catch,
call a fair catch when you need to, let the ball go behind you if it's too close to the to the end zone, whatever. And like I imagine actually just the kid who's smart on the fly in that is the one you want returning punts. So who knows?
Sure. And there's always a place for a guy like that on the team.
I was actually talking with
at every level.
At every level is that part. Exactly. There's a spot for you no matter how old you are or what level of football you're playing. But speaking of accomplishments. So I gave out a skinny pick 5 last week and I was feeling good about myself through race 5. And then I looked at our show sheet, Barry, and I realized what kind of tear you were on, which was somewhere in the 3 to 4 times better than what I gave out. So I want to be really clear, Barry. I feel great about giving out a $13 ticket that pays $150. That's what we did last week. That's fantastic. Yeah. Love giving that out. Like, I love that if anybody tailed, someone made $100 and didn't have to think about it and just did. That's great. I love that stuff. You gave out 8 winners in 10 races. And what I want to remind people is that's why we show up every Friday and we do this show every Friday is for last Saturday. For when those Calbred days come around and we know all of those horses. When those Calbred days come around and we're familiar with how they're going to perform. Oh, they're trying to dirt sprint here. Well, that makes sense because once in a while this horse, because of conditions, has to go back and do that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. And so last weekend, Barry, I think was one of those, confirming things for us kind of moments where we've been doing the show for over a year. We got a little bit of the payoff last weekend. I don't mean to make that a we kind of thing, Barry, because it was you that had a spectacular weekend. But it is I think a testament to how we prep on the show. Congratulations, dude. 8 out of 10 is an incredible day. Have you ever had any day like that before? I mean, 8 out of 10 is all.
One other day where I swept a card at Laurel one day. Wow. Haven't done that in a while, but it was pretty good to cash some tickets last weekend. And it's good thing is I hit 3 cold exactas in there that really kind of boosted the bankroll. One of them was the Trump era, and I forget the other horse.
Yeah.
They paid 40 to 1, which was great. I mean, if people play, that's fantastic because I know you cashed. If they watch.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, he's Barry Spears. I'm Louis Rabeau. Again, this is SoCal Saturdays. We're presented by Amwager, amwager.com. Go check them out. They've got a fantastic site for you there. And it was built by horse players for horse players. Speed, power, top-tier features like their true odds and conditional wagering. And if you're looking for something like a pick five or all the way down to a win bet, they've got you covered for sure. 100% deposit match up to $50 right now for new customers over there at Amwager, amwager.com. Appreciate them hanging out with the program for over a year now, Barry. Let's get into it. Race 1 out there on Saturdays. If you are new with the program, we'll walk through the entire card with you. We'll put our selections up on the screen throughout. If you are listening on Apple Pods, you can visit us at horseracinghappyhour.com. We put up the sheet there as well. Barry, very glad we put up the PDF last week because somebody got your picks and had a very nice Saturday, or played my pick five and had a very nice Saturday, whatever it might have been. So we appreciate everyone who hangs out with us. The website could not be easier to navigate, horseracinghappyhour.com. Barry, let's get into race 1. We're on the turf for this one, of course, 6.5. Sprinting, it's an optional on the $50,000 level. On the male side of things, 3 and up, $35,000 purse here. Barry, don't have to be a Calbred to be in this one, so a nice mix of horses. Favorites on the inside in Da Capo. You decided to go to the outside, however.
Yeah, I do respect Da Capo because of the class that they've been keeping. You'll see them losing to Tempest Volat, who was a pretty nice horse. Yalkalef, who's pretty nice.
Really nice horse.
But this horse just doesn't seem to do it. I mean, they've had a few
runs
cracks
out of gas a lot.
Yeah, and that's a little concerning, especially breaking from the rail. There's a lot of impediments there. So I decided to go to the outside to the 8 BIG, not the notorious BIG, but BI.
Did you notice who Dad is? This is actually a really good job on
Mr.
naming.
Big. Yeah, this is a great name.
Yeah. No, this is a good job by this is someone who's into hip hop, but also Mr. Big is this is a good job on the name. Keep going. I'm sorry. Yes.
Absolutely. But this horse went a mile last time at the same level. Dropping back in makes a lot of sense. I think this horse is probably better at this trip. I mean, I'm not really sure why they went away from the turf in 2024. But the horse, something went wrong with the horse back in November of 2024, and we hadn't seen the horse until March 1st of this year. And I think this horse is just getting back into it. This drop in cut back in distance makes a lot of sense here, especially with the trip that this horse is projected to get. There's a little bit of speed up front, and this horse could sit a nice trip stalking from the outside. I think they might be able to get it done. It's a little bit of a gamble, but 6-1 with Juan Hernandez probably makes a lot of sense.
Congratulations to Juan. Went over 3,000 wins just a few days ago there at Santa Anita Park. Never an accident if you win 3,000 races. So congratulations to one of the GOATs out there, JJ Hernandez, for sure. 8 on top for Barry. He went 2-7 after that. I went 2-7 on top. I went 2-7-4 to open the card here. Barry, I'll try Steak Fries, a second-time starter this year, one that didn't run in 2025. And I'll steal from you. Came off the bench running, right? This was one that we saw in November of 24. A year and a half later, this one reappears at Santa Anita Park. I thought looked really good under Kazushi Kimura. Frankly, in the very late stages of that race, could not catch the leader, but did pass 2 other horses after the 8th pole. I love to see that. I'll go ahead and put the Craig Lewis trainee on top here. Kazushi Kimura keeps the mount, has been aboard for all 4 horses, never been worse than 6th, and that was on debut since then in the top 2 in the other 2 runs. Went to the 7 horse then, Barry, who I know is 3rd in yours, in Gray's Boy for Vladimir Serene. And this one to me just makes sense in general. Like, all the numbers make sense.
Yep.
Won on debut at the 50 level, moved up to the 50 against winners for the first time. Was there for most of it, faded a little bit at the end. I think this one makes a ton of sense. Obviously, 3rd race ever, but the works have made a ton of sense for this one as well. Armando Ayuso off to a spectacular start in this meet as well, with 20 wins so far. I'll go 2-7-4 here, Barry. You went 8-2-7. Anything to add on the 2 horse or the 7 horse here?
Yeah, the two is really interesting. I know they haven't been out in a while. Just like the 8 actually. The 8 just has more starts this year. But those races that they were running in 2024, they got wide trips every time. Got a good trip April 30th and kind of capitalized on it. Almost won. I think they're kind of knocking on the door. It's really close between the 8 and the 2, honestly, to me.
8-2-7 for Barry, 2-7-4 for me there in race 1. Santa Anita Saturday is what we're talking about. SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour presented by Amwager. Louis Ribot, Barry Spears hanging out with you. Moving to the Dirt 4 race 2. Nickel Claimer, let's go. Mile on the dirt course. If you are unfamiliar with Santa Anita, that means you start at the same place where you will finish. $15,000 on the line. And Barry, they started running these races. We used to get bigger fields for these. Hopefully, this is just an aberration, Barry, with the 6 horses in here, because frankly, you and I have really enjoyed many of those races that were initially set aside for horses that had been previously based in Northern California. Hopefully, this will start to kick up at this level as well. Even number races on the card, I generally go first, and so I'll go. Barry and I only agree in 2 spots today. We agree in this one, the 6 horse on top for this one, Morello. Of course, Tom Morello, the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine. Andrew Harris trains here. He is off to an unbelievable start. 6 starters, and 5 of them have been in the trifecta. This one was at the $6,250 allowance level last time. Before that was at the $5,000 claiming level. I'm trusting the move back to distance here, Barry, and frankly, I just don't know who else to bet in this field. That's really where I'm at with this. So I'm going to land on the Edwin Maldonado piloted Morello in this spot. So I went 6, 5, and 4. Look for Upstart Yankee, I guess, in this spot. Has only been running at this distance. Has been in the top 2 9 times in 23 tries. Never won at Santa Anita Park, but we'll see if we can change that here. And then Sunset Storm will break from the 4 for Bautista and Brinkerhoff. Val Brinkerhoff, likewise, off to a sneaky good start at 22%. In a small sample size there at Santa Anita. This one just seems to fit better at the level. So, Barry, I'll go 6, 5, and 4. You also have the 6 on top in Morello. Similar thinking to me, just best of the rest kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a reluctant pick on top for Morello. I mean, speed figure wise, at least buyer numbers in the DRF, this horse kind of towers over these horses, but you see the record and you see the horse just doesn't kind of finish races off a lot. But I mean, this is really going to be a stagger fest, going a mile. I really, it's just the best of the rest. Like you said, I really couldn't get to anybody else. I thought the 2 Northern Quest might have a little bit of run.
I'm with you.
Just picking up the pieces, just the running style itself might lend themselves to a good position here. And then Sunset Storm seems logical, has some speed. Wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if that horse won just on the front end, going wire to wire. But I mean, this race is as small of a field it is. It's very, very tough to come up with a horse that wins. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if any one of these horses jumped up and won.
Okay, I agree with you. I was going to ask for like a multi-race if someone's trying to play the early pick 5, throw together a pick 3 early on, whatever it might look like, Barry. You can start the pick 4 here. Would you just go 6 or all here, essentially? Because that's where my brain's at. Is either you got to buy it or you just take the 6.
Yeah, it's either Morello or no Morello.
Right, right.
I would use 5. All but one if you're not going to use Morello. But I could see either scenario kind of working out. So it's a tough call for all the multiplayers, especially in the first race. By the way,
yeah,
that's not right. That's tough in the first race of a pick 4. You try to, even in pick 5s, you want to beat favorites. So I would think a horse like Morello would be a good bet against in a situation like this, but. Right. It is a very tough race, honestly. To pick
especially if you have a stronger opinion in races 3, 4, and 5, and you're willing to go against Morello in the early leg, you might be in a good spot there. Moving on to race 3 here on SoCal Saturdays. Optional claimer. We stay on the dirt for this one. 6 furlongs going there. It's for Calbreds on the Philly side of things. Fillies and Mares 3 and up, which have never won 2 major races. $67,000 on the line here, Barry. A 9-5 favorite in Danzig Flyer. Neither of us have that horse on top. Where did you go?
Yeah, I went with the 5 Red-Headed Reba. I thought this horse ran 2 pretty good races on the dirt at this distance. Actually, one at 5.5, and then they stretched out last time to 6. Ran a really good race, just missed. As far as consistency goes, this horse has established himself kind of consistent in that way. Both those races were similar speed figures. Should get a nice run here. There's some speed up front that can kind of hang out with Danzig Flyer, but Red-Headed Reba 2-1 seems like a fair price in this race.
2-1 on Red-Headed Reba, 3rd-time starter there. Daniel Dunham yet to win this year at Santa Anita Park, 1 for 24, but this runner has obviously been his best so far. 5, 2, and 4 for Barry. I went with the same runners. Different order here for 5, 2. Talk about the 4-horse. Stay in line. Joel Rosario is starting to pick it up as far as wins out
yes,
west.
He is.
Might be a nice move for him at the end of the day. This is one that needed some time off at the end of March. Just kind of ran out of gas, Barry, having run essentially from April of last year through March of this year. So trainer Andy Mathis gives this one a little bit of time off, and I have great news. That's a 31% angle on the win side of things for him. He also goes route to sprint at 25% in recent times. And so I do think this horse makes a ton of sense that way. He and Rosario do not have a lot of data points together, but frankly, not a lot of trainers out west are going to have a ton of data points with Rosario at this point. 4, 5, and 2. I'll agree with you on Red-Headed Reba. I do think Dancing Flyer is obviously with a chance here, but a move up from that 25 level against some horses that have been in some more salty kind of fields. So I'll lean on Stay in Line and Red-Headed Reba to try to beat the 2-horse in here. But Barry, you went 5, 2, and 4. Anything to add on either Dancing Flyer or Stay in Line?
Honestly, Rosario has to step on the gas here in order to win. If he gets out of the gate in front of Dancing Flyer, which he probably should, he should have the run of the race. I just don't think that 6 furlongs is this horse's best distance. But there's some other speed in here that Dancing Flyer has. Smile Baby Smile has a little bit of speed. So there may be some occupants up front that could set it up for a horse like Red-Headed Reba. So that's really the rationale there.
Race 4 up next. We're presented by Amwager and Amwager.com right here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour SoCal Saturdays every single Friday at this time on our network. Thanks for hanging out wherever you are in the world, hanging out with us here. The Pick 6 starts here, $2 traditional Pick 6 there at Santa Anita Park, $35,000 on the line in a 6 furlong, another dirt sprint here for maiden 50s, state bred California fillies and mares 3, 4, and 5 years old here, Barry. Even number race means I go first. I landed on the 9 horse. On the outside in Dancing with Sherry, a third-time starter here, second-time starter in this rotation cycle, was at the 50 level last time, and ran a decent third under Tiago Pereira, who keeps them out for Tim McKenna. I'm really just hoping that an outside post is going to give this horse a chance to kind of get a clean break and get away. We hear reluctant, we hear slight bobble. I'm hoping this move to the outside of the gates, Barry, is the thing that will give this horse a slightly better start, because once this horse is in the race, runs really well. It just needs to get out there earlier. I like the bullet work in early April where they obviously tried to get this horse moving. I don't love the gate work after that, though, and so I wish that were a little bit faster, but hopefully the outside post position will change things up for this horse. I then went to the rail, but I'm going to let you talk about the rail because that's where your pick in this race is.
Yeah, I went to the 1 Vegas nightclub. I thought the 9 just seems to be habitual with the terrible starts. So I'm planning on that happening again. But Vegas nightclub for Richard Baltus comes into this race, after a start as a favorite on May 2nd in the $50,000 claimer that day, state breds, and just was stuck on the rail. I think the rail post position did this horse in. They didn't get out great and were kind of stuck behind horses and just really didn't get a chance to run. I know they draw the rail again, but I think that one experience helped everybody in this situation, the jockey, the trainer, the horse. And I think they're just going to step on the gas and get out of the gate so they can get good position. And if they're in the lead, that's great. If not, I think they can sit and pounce. Blinkers on.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that move.
Like
and
that
Richard Baltus does pretty well second time out and does well with Armando Ayuso in general when they do hook up. At a good price too. I think it's like a $3 ROI when they hook up, so that's always a good thing. So we're gonna land on the 1 Vegas nightclub to go wire to wire here.
It's a
5-year-old too. That's the other thing. This is a 5-year-old.
She's older, yeah, but a $4.40 return, by the way, at Santa Anita Park together in not a small sample size. You have this Hellfire first timer, second in your handicapping here, Barry. She'll break from the 3 for Mike Pipey. He's not great on debut. What do you like about her here, though?
Kind of no knocks on this horse yet, and seems to be training well into this. I see a couple of gate 4 furlongs that are pretty decent enough in this field, and there's not a whole lot to beat in here. A horse like Turkey Bird, who's 5-2 on the morning line, in my estimation, has no shot whatsoever. So I think this race is kind of wide open, but there's certain horses who haven't run very much that I do like rather than the ones that have been running.
You and I both have the 6 in our handicapping, Barry. That is Baby Needs Shoes, the likely favorite at post time here, coming off of a turf run. Most recently, that is a very good angle for Peter Miller at 20% in his last 60 runners, switching from the turf to the dirt. Going to try it for the first time. These smiling tigers that we see out west, Barry, do a little bit of everything, right? And this is a twirling candy on the dam side, so I imagine the move to dirt won't be terrible. Frankly, this one probably should have broken its maiden one of the last 2 times that it was out there. So I think the 6 makes a ton of sense in here. And if someone told me they had that one on top, I wouldn't fight them.
It's funny. A lot of horses in this race kind of have turf pedigrees.
Right.
A lot of them, actually. But we'll see where they all land. But I gather this might be a little bit of a stagger fest, too, because I'm guessing a lot of these horses are meant for the turf. And this is just the race that came up right in the middle of whatever their plans are. So I think it's a good spot for a lot of them. But these horses aren't that great. I don't see any Derby winners coming out of this
No,
race.
I get it. I do wonder, though. I wonder, like a guy like Peter Miller, for example, I wonder if you got him in a spot and said, do you care more about your horse's fitness or the surface? I think he would say fitness.
Fitness,
just looking at, right? Like, I think that's for him what matters.
Well, I think a lot of it in California where they do this, they don't really do this on other circuits where they run the same kind of races on both turf and dirt. Yep. So I think their hands are forced in a way, but I think it's a good thing because you do learn about your horse and everything. I wish they would do it out east too, but here we are.
There you go. Condition book is the condition book. Race 5 starts the late pick 5 as well. Santa Anita Park tomorrow. This is SoCal Saturdays in the Horse Racing Happy Hour presented by Amwager. My name's Louis Rabeau. He's Barry Spears. Race 5, a $25,000 claimer. $35,000 on the line here. 3 and up. No other conditions for this one, Barry. We're just in for the tag, and we're in for a mile. We love this route at Santa Anita Park. Who'd you land on in race 5?
Yeah, this is a race I thought was kind of wide open. I think we might be able to get a price here.
I landed on race on this card.
It might be. It's close.
Jimmy Blue Jeans is 3-1. I mean, this is a good. I like this race. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a good race, especially one that ends the pick 4 and pick 5.
Yeah.
I ended up on the 4 Quezon, who is kind of knocking on the door. And won a $40,000 claimer at Del Mar back in August of last year. And then was, I thought, a little bit over their head in some of those races. I mean, they lost to Beef Winslow, Uncle Happy, Harson, who all came out of that race in October, a $40,000 claimer, an open one, to win. Then this horse shows up this year, May 3rd, gets a wide trip, has no chance, and I can just put a line through that. Coming back out of that race, I think this horse will run a way better effort, especially since they've had a workout since. I know the barn isn't hitting on all cylinders at Santa Anita. I mean, they have one starter, but doing okay for the year. Getting Kyle Frey, I think this one is under the radar a little bit. There's some speed that should be up front to make this a fair pace. So I think Quezon gets a good setup.
Quezon, a son of Warfront. Do you know what Quezon means?
Isn't it something that goes around a sausage?
It is not the case on, but it is it is generally a watertight structure holding ammunition. So it makes sense that would be the child of Warfront. So there you are. You landed on the 4
Good
horse
job.
in here. 4, 7, and 5 for Barry. I went to the 9 horse. I went with the favorite here in Jimmy Blue Jeans. He will have to make a move pretty early in here, Barry, but he is that kind of horse who's going to either want to stalk or go ahead and take over. I also just am picking him because Juan Hernandez got the mount. Librado Barosio trains here. His horses are peppering the board right now at Santa Anita Park, and he hits at 28% in claimers and 29% in routes. That seems like the exact kind of spot that I would want to bet Librado Barosio, so I am going to do exactly that. 9, 6, and 5 in here for me means that the second horse I have is Pioneer Prince, 6-year-old gelded son of Pioneer of the Nile. Why not? Has been running in 32 level and 25 level turf races, 2 back, ran in these exact conditions at Santa Santa Anita had to go because he was on the interior and had drawn the rail. I think from 6, he'll actually be able to sit off if they're able to, and I think it might work for them well. So I'll put those 2 on top, Barry. 9, 6, and 5 in here for me. You went 4 and then 7 in here. What do you like about Ajis?
This horse is always around, just doesn't win a whole lot. As you can see in the past performances, this horse has been beaten and beating and been beaten by a few of these, including Pioneer Prince, Jimmy Blue Jeans. So they've been taking their turns at each other, and I think Ajis might be able to get a good trip here. If you just put a line through that $30,000 mile and an eighth trip last time, and you go back to that April 4th race, if that horse runs a race similar to that one, they'll be right there at a decent price.
Yeah, been miling forever. 0 for 16 at the mile, but a son of Mendelssohn here. Going to try to break through for trainer Doug O'Neill, who's never heard stop and stop trying. He's like, no, we're going to go again. We're going to do it again. It's going to work. It's going to be great. The 5 horse in here is Kawasaki. Armando Ayuso rides for Richard Baltus. On figures, this one makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, same thing. You can put a line through that last race on May 3rd, going a mile and an eighth. Just wasn't the trip for this horse, I don't believe. Although they did win at a mile and an eighth, I think the mile's better suited for their running style. They're probably going to be closer up, which will help out a lot. Nice bullet, May 23rd at San Luis Rey, coming into this 1 out of 44 that day. I think they're going to be tough in this spot, especially with the setup that they're probably going to get.
4, 7, and 5 for Barry in race 5. I went 9, 6, and 5 in race 5. Move on to race 6 is the start of the late pick 4 there tomorrow at Santa Anita Park. Back on the dirt for this one, a $10,000 claimer, fillies and mares 4 and up. I guess 3-year-olds are allowed in here as well. Mares 4 and up as well. $18,000 on the line, Barry. Even numbered race means Louis goes first. We landed on the same couple of horses on top, just in a different order. I'll go with the 5 Cloudy Rose, 9-2 here for Abeliscano and Victor Garcia. This one was last out 5.5 in a $10,000 event. I do wonder if 5.5 is actually the best distance for this horse, who is over 2 at the 6 furlongs, but has at least finished in the money in both of those. And both of those were at the maiden special level, 1 at Del Mar and then 1 at Santa Anita Park. Get back into the form here. This is second in the form cycle, which is a nice angle for Victor Garcia as well. I just think this one fits really well. I love the price on this one, Barry. And so I'll put the 5 on top. You went with lovely Medallia on top. I have her second in my handicapping. What do you like about her?
Well, her lone race and her buyer speed figure is higher than everyone else's in this race.
Yep.
And she's only ran once. So I would figure that's going to be hard to beat second time out. Even with the rail draw, unless they just completely blow the break. I think they're the goods. They might particularly lay over this field. All they have to do is get out of the gate, I think. And we might have a Kyle Frey double in the making right here.
I was going to say, you might have a nice day if you're right. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
There you go. So he'll lovely Medallia will break from the 1-1-5-6 for Barry. I've already talked about the 1. Let's talk about the 6 horse here, Barry. In Tate Bats, won last time at the maiden 12-5 level. Similarly to lovely Medallia. Emerson Jaramillo gets the amount here for Doug O'Neill. I think it makes a lot of sense in this spot.
Yeah, definitely does. I just wasn't too enthused with the 4-1 price, especially with the speed of the races that this horse has been running. Hasn't been too quick. Needed the class relief last time to get it done. But that may be a confidence builder. I know Doug O'Neill likes to get his horses in spots where they can win and understand that's what they should be doing out there. I don't think this is any exception. Also getting Jaramillo makes a lot of sense too. After switching him last time, he should have this horse in a good spot here, ready to pounce. But I just think lovely Medallia is the goods.
My favorite very long shot of the day, Barry, is in this race. Lovelock will break from the outside. Joel Rosario for Isidro Tamayo, who is off to a very cold start, frankly, at Santa Anita Park so far this year. But this is one that won at the maiden 20 level, 2 back, over 6 furlongs. And if you look at those fractions, Barry, and the time that this horse was out on the lead and doing the runs, If this horse runs that race again, very good shot to win tomorrow. Now, with the last race at the claiming level against winners for the first time, the if you, I don't know if you remember this race, Barry. This is the end of April. This
Oh
horse
yeah.
got bumped 3 different times. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line through that race, look at the 2 races before this, and assume that we can get back to that. I also get Joel Rosario here, and I'm kind of fascinated by this horse. I think the 9 Love Lock, if you wanted a longer shot, Barry, to either put in an exact to put in a try or even to take a shot at a win, I think this one could jump up in this kind of field.
Yeah, you make a really good case for that horse. I mean, you can see the trouble they had last
Oh, the
time
last
on the
trip was
replays.
terrible.
It was
Yes.
absolutely horrible. And honestly, there really isn't a whole hell of a lot of speed in here.
No.
So if
If
they're
the if
able to
the inside
outquick the
horse
one,
doesn't break here, it doesn't
right?
break well, man, the nine's going to get a clear path. I
Yeah,
think there's something there for Lovelock. Yeah.
it could be. Maybe that won't be 20 to 1 though. That's the
I
other
don't think
thing.
so. That's the other part. Yeah, for sure. Oh
But we'll
man,
see.
moving to
You never
we will
know.
find out. Only one way to know, of course, is to check it out tomorrow. Second leg of the turf pick 3, and the first leg of the late pick 3 is race 7. Made special weight back on the grass here at Santa Anita Park. $65,000 on the line. This is for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. This was a very fun field, Barry. I really like this one. You get some horses trying North American turf for the first time. You get some horses that have kind of bounced around at different levels. Where did you land to kick off the late pick 3?
I landed on the 9 tribalism for Michael McCarthy and Juan Hernandez. This horse ran a really good race first time out at Keeneland
Yep.
in a race that was sort of a key race. The third and fourth place, or yeah, the third and fourth place finishers out of this race that tribalism was in came back to win. One going 6 furlongs, one going a mile, both at the maiden special weight level. Uh, One at Churchill, which bodes well for tribalism, I think. They ran a really good race first time out, getting Lasix. Michael McCarthy's horses tend to run better second time out. Getting the goat Juan Hernandez in the saddle, all of that spells victory to me. Hopefully, we can get that 4 to 1.
4-1 on the outside for the 9 horse, 9, 6, and 8 for Barry. I'll go 4, 2, and 8. You and I landing in very different spots. We watched Gaines try turf for the first time just a couple of weeks ago. Almost got there under Florent Giroux. Picks up Hector Barrios, and we're going to go routing here, and I think that makes sense. Especially Sire side, that's an Uncle Mo line with Mo Forza. I think makes a ton of sense trying the route here. Now, this horse were back in a sprint. I might bet it as well. I thought the horse showed very well first time out. Just got nipped at the end there by Eugene Sledge in that one. Gets to carry a very similar amount of weight and all that stuff. I think the move to Hector Barrios is not a downgrade at all from Florent Giroux. So fascinated to see Gaines, of course, out of the Harris Farms. And named for Carla Gaines, who trains as well. So I'll go 4, 2, and 8 here. Barry, quickly talk about the 2 in Hazaka, one of those that's coming over from overseas. And in Phil D'Amato's barn, those horses win at 19% when they first start in the United States. Good works on the Tapeta course as well out west. And ran a fine race going left-handed the first time there in one of the Stallion Farms maiden races there in Ireland at Dundalk. So this is one I'm interested in as well. So I'll go all evens here, Barry. 4, 2, and 8. You went 9, 6, and 8. What do you like about Plagiarist here?
Yeah, this horse first time on the turf last time just really didn't get a good run at it. They were on the way outside, 3, 4 wide, literally the whole way, and just kind of faded. But if you go back, this horse was running against some good company. You see Secured Freedom in there, Blacksmith, Providence, all horses that would be formidable in a spot like this. And there may be a chance that this horse moves up on the turf and they just didn't get a good run at it last time. I think the post relief is going to make the difference here. Pedigree wise, doesn't really have a whole lot to go off of as far as turf pedigree, but I think they're adequate enough in a race that seems to be sort of wide open. The 9 draws outside, that might hurt that horse, and you know, it just the way this race could develop. I think Plagiarist might be a player.
9, 6, and 8 for Barry. I'll defend the breeding a little bit here. I think Liam's map and creative cause. If someone told you that was a turf router, I don't think you would think it was crazy, right? I mean, so
no, not crazy, but not
yeah,
super
not
turf
direct.
leaning.
You don't get
Right.
there necessarily right away. I'm with you on that for sure. So 9, 6, and 8 for Barry. I went 4, 2, and 8 there. So obviously we saw many of the same things with Plagiarist. Moving on to race 8, started the late double. It's a $5 minimum on the late double, and you can always bet that at Amwager, amwager.com. Bet all of the racing in Southern California with our friends at Amwager, who have a $50 deposit match right now for new customers. So you put in $50, they put in $50. Good to go. Bet them this weekend. Get ready for the Belmont Stakes as well. Build that bankroll this weekend. The Santa Margarita is the feature. It's a mile and an eighth on the turf. It's a grade 2, $200,000 on the line, Barry. 3 and up on the filly and mare side for this one. And this is an interesting race, small field, but we get a big time favorite in Seismic Beauty, who has gone this distance exactly one time, Barry. And that was an 11th place finish by 39 lengths. I'm just kidding. This horse won this race last year. This horse is in here at Seismic Beauty. But we see some other ones in here. And do you know who really does stand out in this field to me? Is one of D. Wayne Lucas's last trainees. Lemon Muffin is
Lemon Muffin,
two horse. She was the winner of an Oaks prep down in Arkansas at $1 billion to 1, and she went ahead and ran into Kentucky Oaks for the coach. But Simply Joking is in here, another Kentucky Oaks alum. Frankly, Barry, when you talk about grade 2s and who should be competing in them, you've got a fair number of horses that actually fit the bill in here, just not a lot of them. Who beats Seismic Beauty?
Simply Joking.
You have Almond Joy second in your handicapping. Now, part of this is you really like this horse, and she made you look really smart in the Torrey Pines. What do you make of Almond Joy in this field,
though? I think after Seismic Beauty, this horse could come picking up the pieces. I know Lemon Muffin has some back class, but I haven't seen that kind of show up in a while, and the horse is kind of inconsistent. There's really not much beyond that. I mean, Simply Joking probably wants to be forwardly placed. They could hold on, but I think a horse coming from behind will most likely pick up the pieces. Sort of like what they did against Splendora in the Beholder Mile. I think they're going to get sort of a similar trip and kind of clunk up behind Seismic Beauty and maybe grab a share here.
Almond Joy did get a third place check in the Grade 1 Beholder Mile before trying the Apple Blossom at Oaklawn Park. That did not go very well. Fifth place finish there. A seventh place finish last out on the turf in the Franz Valentine, a Calbred event just a couple of days ago. Will be interesting to see if Almond Joy decides to run here. Very, very quick turnaround for sure. You and I like that angle. Generally, though, I'm going to try Lavender Love in the second spot here, Barry. So I'm going to go 3-5 cold exact to here. This is one that just won going a mile at Santa Anita Park and frankly seemed to really love it. 3 back, this one also went a mile on the dirt. So this horse is 3 dirt runs. One of them was sprinting, 2 of them were going a mile, and both of those were wins, and both of those were at Santa Anita Park, and both of those are with buyers that if for whatever reason Seismic Beauty ain't ready to go, I don't know. It might be Lavender Love and Richard Baltus that picks this thing off. And so give me Lavender Love second here. Daughter of Grays and 4-year-old seems to be coming into her own here, Barry. I don't know if it makes me a crazy person to like the Calbred here second, but I think Lavender Love's got a real shot.
Yeah, I think you're a little crazy because there's no way that horse is getting in front of Seismic Beauty. But they'll have to adjust running styles a little bit, and if they're able to coast, there's a situation where Seismic Beauty gets a really easy lead, and Lavender Love also goes with him and kind of just trots along as well, and they could certainly run 1-2.
Yeah, 3-5 for me, 3-1 for Barry there in the Grade 2 Santa Margarita, the feature on Saturday at Santa Anita Park. Wrap it up. Final race on the card is race 9. We're back miling on the turf. Maiden special weight, 65,000 on the line, and this is for 3-year-old fillies. Barry, another fun one in here. You and I landed on 2 horses in common in our handicapping, but you landed on the 7 on top in Akadavi. This is for Tim Yaktine, second time starter for him. Never a bad idea. Is that at least part of your thought process here?
Absolutely. Second time Tim Yaktine is a very good angle. He hooks up with Kazushi Kimura here, and they do well when they hook up, and a nice ROI. Tim Yakteen, I can't say enough about his horses, the way they run second time out. This one fits the bill. The pedigree also kind of leans turf with some speed in a race that, the speed could come from anywhere. And I think they'll probably have Kimura step on the gas here and try to control the pace, which they can largely do. I don't see a whole ton of speed or a bunch of horses that are just ready to go to the front. I think this one is probably going to be ready. I like that last workout too, May 23rd, 3 out of 47. In this field, that actually could be considered a bullet.
Akadevi, of course, was part of the Chalukya dynasty in India around the year 1000.
Ooh,
that's why you listen to the,
okay.
That's why you listen to the Horse Racing Happy Hour. I'll go to the outside. I'll go to the middle of the
That's
pack,
right.
Excuse me. The 5 horse here in Conquistadora. Speaking of good prices, 8-1 on a Michael McCarthy Juan Hernandez trainee on the turf. Sure, okay, let's do it. I'll go ahead and try this one here, Barry. There's nothing exciting about this horse, who has not done a ton of good things, but I am essentially just trusting Michael McCarthy, throwing blinkers on, a couple days off here, getting this one on the turf once again, and booking Juan Hernandez for the top here. But this is this is a daughter of Justify. I think there's a world in which she starts to come into her own right about now. Frankly, did a bunch of very good running last out in the beginning of April at the same level. Interested to see what she ends up doing here. And frankly, I think this might be a little bit of an easier field than she faced last time. So I'll go to Conquistador. They're 5-9-1 for me, 7-5-9 for you. We both have the 9 in our handicapping here, Barry, in Pennell Bay. This one coming off a layoff, but her races before this were in much classier spots in this one.
Yeah, way classier. Stake races, to be exact. Greatest stakes in the last one, but it's hard to tell how good this horse really is or isn't. I'm gonna side on probably taking or watching this one from this horse. If they win, it's probably going to be at a short price, and I don't want it anyway. So plus the running style this horse comes from out of it to try to win. So I don't really like that either. And especially at, that 7-2 price on the line doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me, but I can definitely see how people could like a horse like this.
Pennell Bay debuted and lost to Bottle of Rouge and Super Corridora. No big deal. I went to the inside for my third horse here, 5-9-1. The one horse is Slice. And this is an MSI Jaramillo. Michael McCarthy moved to the turf, and I am just trusting connections. 6-1 price. I think I'll get every bit of that. But this is an Into Mischief Lemon Drop kid on the damn side. Distance won't be a problem. The sprinter route numbers all make sense with Michael McCarthy. And frankly, so do the dirt to turf numbers. So I will lean on them here in this spot as well. So I will go 5-9-1 in the closer at Santa Anita. Barry will go 7-5-9 to close the card. So this has been the Horse Racing Happy Hour. This has been SoCal Saturdays. This has been presented by Amwager. This has been a Friday edition of the show. Look for my article tomorrow morning at the Sporting Tribune as well. We'll look at part of the sequence and try to figure out who's going to run second in the Santa Margarita. We'll do all of that as part of that article tomorrow. He's Barry Spears. I'm Louis Rabot. We're going to be doing a bunch of extra stuff ahead of the Belmont Stakes. Look for stuff around this program, but also on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, just like we did for the Preakness. You can listen to us on ESPN Louisville, 680 and 105.7 here in the market, or at ESPNLouisville.com for our full hour-long Belmont Day preview. We'll have that up for you at 11 o'clock, ready to go at ESPNLouisville.com or wherever you listen to your radio. Barry, have a great weekend, buddy.
All right, my brother. See ya.
All right, man. We will see everybody. Good luck with those wagers tomorrow at Santa Anita Park. This has been the Horse Racing Happy Hour.